Now we will discuss project estimates in Sage Intacct. To navigate to the project estimates, you can go down to the drop menu, Jobs, under All, Job Estimates. A project estimate enables you to approximate how much a project may cost to complete. Then you can track the actual costs against your estimate to determine your project's profitability. There's a couple of ways that we can add project estimates. So we can do it manually by hitting Add, or we can import. There's two import templates. One is just to import the project estimates. There's another one to import project estimate with work breakdown structure. If we go with the option to import estimate with WBS, we'll have a template that we'll populate with the project estimate ID, the job. You'd populate the job ID, job name, the begin date, end date, project category, location, any of the pertinent details to set up the project, you'll populate. And you'll also put in the project estimate line entries. So all of the coding that you want on the project estimate. And this import will actually create the tasks and the cost types and the project at the same time that it creates the project estimate. So if I go ahead and save this as a CSV file, then I can go and select it. And real quick, we'll go ahead and take a look at the job list. So go back to jobs. You'll see that there's no WBS job ID. So once I import this file, it was successful. Now, if I refresh my screen here, again, this is the project estimate screen. We'll see we have a new PJ estimate, WBS estimate. If we come and refresh our job list, we'll have a new job, WBS estimate, with new cost codes and cost types already in the system. So with one swale soup, there's one import, we've created all of those things. If I go into this, there's a few fields that I'll go over now. So every time we import a new project estimate for a new project, it's a primary box is gonna autofill. So you have to have a primary project estimate for each project. We'll want to populate an estimate type. This controls what options we have below for workflow types. So this current estimate includes all of the different estimate entry workflow types. If I had permission, I can come in here and edit any that we don't want to include. Maybe we don't want to include forecast, so we just want to include these ones. I'll go ahead and update that. And then you'll see that only those ones are available to select below. We can include an attachment, which we can drag and drop. We can also get a snapshot of the job information that was imported. If we wanted to integrate to the GL, we can select post to GL budgets and then select a budget ID, budget book for the project estimate. This would allow you to include the project estimate in dashboards and financial reports. We would also have an option for the posting period. So you can either do it based off of the job begin date, the period estimate date, which is this field here, or you can do it off of the period estimate entry effective date, which is down on the line below. So you can see there's an effective date here, which I have imported. We can also distribute evenly to periods between the job and begin and end date. So going into the entries, you can see the ones that we imported are just basic, the quantity, the unit rate, the amount, the memo. We can also populate anything like production units. We can tag more dimensions. The customer should default from the project if we've selected it. So all of those dimensions will be populated. If I go ahead and change this to approve change, then I can go ahead and show you the different options that we have available for reporting. So not only are we able to report on project estimates if they're posting to the GL, we can also do it based off of a transaction. And I can't actually post to the GL, so we'll go ahead and uncheck that. So now that I've entered this transaction, using Interactive Custom Report Writer, we can take a look at these project estimate activity. So if we go to the project estimate recap real quick, we'll go ahead and edit. Then I can go into my job ID here. Oops, we'll go ahead and create a filter. And again, I'm in the report writer, but we can create prompts for users to be able to prompt for the same things here. So if I go ahead and put that job ID. So we can see here that we have differentiated the cost type by an attribute of the cost type. So we've used the accumulation type here to better filter the project estimate. And we have quite a bit of options. So if I wanted to change this report, I could take out all of the estimate types. And again, this is basically just like a pivot table. Interactive Customer Report Writer is a powerful tool that allows you to create Excel-like formulas and pivot tables and different types of tables using transactions inside Intacct. So I can also pull in the doc type or the transaction type. So you can see the difference between the types here. If I wanted to add a calculation column, then what I can do is actually say case when workflow type equals original, then pull the transaction amount. And so what that gives us the ability to do is to bring in columns based off of type. So if we wanted a total of the product estimate type for original, and then we wanted another column for, we're going to go ahead and call this one approved change orders, pull in that same case when, but we're going to change it to when it's approved change. Go ahead and change this header to original. So now we can see if we take out the doc type and the workflow type, we can create a simple report that has different columns for each of the different changes on the project estimate, really giving us a lot of visibility in the different areas or deliverables that the estimate incurred. So changes to the project estimate, if there are approved changes, pending change orders, revisions, original budget, and then we'll have our total estimate for us to create further calculations in things like a WIP report.